thank you everyone for coming to World of Wildlife for this month. Now we meet every single month and you are welcome to come every single month to this gathering of wildlife lovers throughout the world. We've got people here today from all over the place. We've got Sri Lanka, we've got Vancouver, we've got the UK, we've got the Sunshine Coast in Australia and Sydney in Australia. And hopefully Wong will be here from Malaysia very, very shortly. This is hosted by me. My name is Dr. Sarah Pai and Dr. Wong Suti, who runs the Bornean Sun Bear Conservation Centre in Malaysia. Now, a little bit about me. I write books. I write books about Dr. Wong Suti. So I wrote his biography, Saving Sun Bears, which tells about his quest to save a species from extinction. And it's an incredible life journey that I'm hoping that you guys have read, or if not, you might be interested in reading. Once I'd finished writing that, I've written 6 books about Wong's life. There's and with his adventures with different species. So those are all based for kids in the age of sort of 8 to 12. And Irene's daughter Taylor has been one of my young reviewers for that one. So thank her. I know she's probably in bed now, Irene, but it's always nice to see Taylor when she's here. That series was shortlisted for an Educational Publishing Award in Australia in 2022, of which I'm really proud. Now, the way this works is we have a couple of little sections here. First, I'm going to tell you a little bit what's been going on with me. And then I'm going to pass over if he's here. He looked like Wong showed up. Awesome. Good to see you, Wong. Don't take your mind off the road, but nice to see you. And it looks like Barbara's here too. Good to see Barbara from the south of Australia. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I've been up to in the last month. Then I'll pass over to Wong and he'll tell us what's going on in Malaysia and specifically what's going on with the Bornean sun bears that he takes care of. And then we'll pass over to our guest speaker for this month, who is Marie Treadwell-Kerr, who is going to tell us all about bats. We're going to learn about spectacled bats in North Queensland. And I've spent some time with Marie recently. So we're going to do that as a sort of a Q&A session. And hopefully you'll learn a lot about bats. Is anyone here who's a little bit scared of bats? You can give us a hand up if you are, you're not sure. Hopefully by the end of the day, you will love bats. That's the whole concept. Hopefully we're going to love them. Rhonda, good to see you. Lovely to see you here. I'm going to share my screen again. I'm going to tell you I've got one thing that happened this month that I have to share with you. What I did is I actually spent a day on Anzac Day, which is a special day in Australia that we celebrate on the 22nd of every April. And I spent the day, since the public holiday, I spent the day with the koala dogs, or the dogs for conservation detecting dogs for conservation. This is Roman Christo and her partner Russell, and they run this amazing program with dogs that they've trained to find koala scats, koala brand new scats, old scats, and koalas themselves. So we spent the day in a woodland actually trying to find koalas with these incredible dogs. So that's what they look like. Okay. This is what the dogs look like. So on the left, you've got Summer and Lockie, and they're new trainee dogs. So we were actually out training them to find scats. And then you've got Austin, who actually is really, really good at his job. So he basically taught them how to find scats while we were out. And we spent an entire day looking for scats. We found scats. The newbies found scats, which is fabulous. And the new 2 trainees also found us a koala. So that was very, very cool. Quite often dogs get a bad rap when it comes to wildlife because mostly the interactions between dogs and wildlife are negative. So in this case, it's a wonderful thing that the dogs are actually helping us to conserve wildlife. Wildlife with koalas, if people look for scats, they're not particularly successful because koala scats are very small. They're the same color as the ground, but dogs can find them using their sense of smell. Dogs find 70% of the scats that are there, and people only find 30%. So with the use of dogs, Roman and her team can actually determine whether there's dogs in in a habitat, and then actually propose protection of that habitat. So they're absolutely incredibly important. While I was there, I met met a koala, but I also met this awesome young woman who is a koala. She works with the Koala Crusaders, and you can see that she's actually found some scats. So this is Milani, and she just had a birthday this week. So Milani is the same age of the character of my next book, Curious Kai. And the reason I was out there is I was actually doing some research for my next book, Curious Kai Asks Why, which is about a curious young girl who travels around with her mum, meeting scientists who can answer her wildlife questions. So Milani is going to be part of the next book, which is really exciting. All right. Marie is going to be our next guest, but before we go to Marie, I'm going to pass over to Dr. Wong Suti. Can you talk, Wong? Are you okay to talk at the moment? You're on mute though, so I'll see if can I unmute you? I don't think
yes, yes. Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. So tell us what's going on in Borneo.
Well, I'm in West Malaysia right now. I am driving to airport. I just pull aside after I paid the toll. So I think I better stay pull. I don't want to do any dangerous driving. Yeah, so hi everybody. I am in West Malaysia. Yes, well, I attended the Malaysia Palm Oil Green Conservation Fund Biodiversity Forum early this week, and then it's a funding agency that work closely with the Malaysian governments to fund conservation projects. I attended their forums in Genting Highland a few days ago, and then yesterday I was visited the Malaysian Elephant Conservation Center and also the Malaysian Tiger Conservation Center. So it's good to see what's going on in this part of Malaysia. This part means the West Malaysia, and try to networking and try to connect with everybody in this circle in terms of wildlife conservation. And I did meet some interesting people, and make some important context for further future research and conservation work for sun bear in West Malaysia. Because for the last 16 years after I established the Borneo Sun Bear Conservation Center in Sabah, most of my work concentrated on Sabah and not so much over here. And hopefully with this networking, we can open up the door for us to work more in West Malaysia. And obviously, the sun bears over here equally needs our helps, and they are equally endangered. And then the official numbers for the sun bears in West Malaysia is 300 to 500 sun bears. So there's not a lot of bears. So it is good to have that kind of connections, and hopefully we can contribute our knowledge and experience for the sun bear conservation of sun bears in West Malaysia. Yeah, and unfortunately,
a possibility of another center in West Malaysia.
Probably not, because some 16 years ago, I did have a proposal to establish a sun bear center in West Malaysia. But at the times, the government's agency who were responsible for the wildlife turned me down. And then that's why I stay focused in Sabah. And right now, the West Malaysia do have a national wildlife rescue center where the cares of all these rescue sun bears are done by the government agency, are done by the Department of Wildlife and National Parks in West Malaysia. So it's a government facilities to care for these rescue sun bears. So I don't think I'm going to set up a new sun bear center here, because it's a lot of work. I don't think I have that kind of time and energy and resources to do it anymore. But in terms of conservation works, in terms of education, research work, I think I still can contribute my knowledge and experiences without actually try to build a physical center over here. So that's I think that's the way to go, because try to build up something and try to go through all the fundraising project again is going to be very yeah, very, very time consuming. I don't think I'll at the end I think I'll do a bad job. Anyway, so yeah, so that's me on my part.
So can you tell us,
Unfortunately,
yeah,
yeah,
you've got to get going to the airport.
yes, yes. What, Sarah?
No, I was just wondering, do you have a minute to tell us about the palm oil or the conference that you went to or not? Have you got to run?
I got a what? A tell about the palm
You
oil
said
what?
you went to a palm conference or a
Yes, so the conference is organized by Malaysian Palm Oil Green Conservation Fund. And
okay.
then it is a fund that established by the Malaysian Palm Oil Board and the Malaysian Palm Oil Council. Is literally the money coughed up from the palm oil industry, and then this fund is for doing mitigation work or conservation works that is wildlife that is related to palm oil industry. Say for example, elephant human conflict that happens a lot of time in oil palm plantations, and then a lot of the works on the ground needs funding to make it happen. So a
Yeah.
lot of NGO who has been working with wildlife conservations and in oil palm plantation landscape are getting their support. Like the Sabah Wildlife Department's the Wildlife Rescue Unit is heavily funded by the Malaysian Palm Oil Green Conservation Fund. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's really important work. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got to drive. Are you able to answer any
I
questions from others while you
no
drive?
no I cannot because I need to turn on my navigations in order to find my way to the airport. So I have to leave
Absolutely.
anytime soon.
Okay. That sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you could make it even briefly.
Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. I thought I can, but at the end I said, oh, I better don't because it's actually quite dangerous, driving and then talk to a Zoom
Yeah,
like that.
we
Yeah.
need you alive, so please don't do it.
Yeah. Okay, well, I have to leave right now, and then yeah, and then hopefully you all have a good conversation. I will reach Sanakan at 9 o'clock p.m.
Yeah.
And then I'll look at the video
Catch
and
up with what
yeah.
Maria's talking about with
Yes,
that.
if you have any questions, just leave there, this type of question, and I'll try to answer it as soon as possible.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Wong. Drive safely.
Okay, you are very, very welcome. Okay, bye-bye.
All right. So we probably,
Okay.
if anyone's got a question for Wong, what have you got? And we'll record it so that he sees it later. What sort of ideas have we got for Wong?
Yeah. So can I go now?
Yes, go. We're going to leave
All
you
right.
messages.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna leave right now. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Bye.
Bye. As you can see, Wong's a busy man, but he's also incredibly important to saving the species of sun bear from extinction, and which is why I wrote his story so that people would know the incredible work he's doing. But I'm sure there's questions there. I've got millions, Wong. So if you want to ask mine to start with, you could pop them in the video on Facebook. You can put some of the answers perhaps. I would love to know more about what you learned about the tigers and the elephants, and how they're going. So those are the things I would like to know. Anyone else got anything you want to add for Wong?
I'm curious where the sun bears are located in West Malaysia, because Malaysia is quite large. So, like, which national parks or what parks
Whereabouts?
are they in?
Yeah, really good one, Irene. Like that question. Awesome. Any more?
I'd like to hear a little bit more detail about the sustainable palm oil. Because I've spoken to people in the palm oil districts in Sabah who say, look, we can't give up palm oil. We need the income, we need drinkable water, we need all sorts of other things that we really depend on it. So the thing is not to say absolutely no palm oil, but we only support sustainable palm oil. So I'd really like to hear more details about how do we tell that a palm oil company really produces sustainable palm oil with, oh, sorry, that was my dog. Without,
I totally understand. Yeah.
yeah, without clearing more forests.
There is a sustainable roundtable of palm oil, and I know that that's probably something that Wong is involved in as well. So I'd love to hear that as well. We'll see if you're being loved to death in the meantime.
Yeah, yes, because I know a lot of people are cynical and say there is no sustainable palm oil, but at least if some is better than others, we want to know which ones are better and which ones we should definitely avoid.
Yeah, really important. Awesome. Any other questions for Wong? This is an unusual sort of a process, but we'll get there.
I think for me, it's the same kind of questions around the palm oil, because all we see in the Western world is that it's destruction, it's taking it like the wildlife home. So yeah, can we have a clearer view on what is actually happening and the protection that is going on?
Yeah, totally understand. Any more? How are we going? No?
Yes, oh, sorry. Yeah, just about elephants. I just heard today from Alexander Yee, the president of the Ecotourism Society in Kinabatangan, that Intrepid, the big travel company, is financing some conservation plans for elephants to have corridors. So yeah, since that is happening in Sabah, I was just wondering whether
well done. The Borneo and Sun Bear Conservation Centre gets a fair amount of funding from Simdabi, which is also a palm oil company. It's hard to know at what level it's helpful and what level it's greenwashing, I guess, is something that we need to ask a question about too, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, this is not a palm oil company though. This is a tourism company, Intrepid, and apparently they're financing corridors for elephants and other conservation things. So yeah, I'd just like to know how effective that is, what stage it's at. Yeah. So I mean, it sounds very good from what I heard today.
Yes. Oh, good. I'd love to hear more about that too. Maybe you can share that next time. Maybe find a bit more out on that one, Rhonda.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.